So, all right, so first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Makakodash. We say that most apostles and elders are great, most and well teachers of apostles in the truth. And we say salutations so they are come to the opportunity with no truth and sincerity, din and the out. They don't constantly in season and season, we say shalom. Once again, going into our video here, and it's basically touching upon this article right here. You see, the common belief of a casual person is that, or an unbeliever, I should say, is that everything is going to continue as is. You understand that everything is going, nothing's going to happen. So when articles like this come out here, or they see other stuff like for instance, this morning, right? This one. Let me just read what this morning there was an article posted from this page as well, and from many other other pages, right? It's saying so this I just reading this off our next device. It's saying major update. It's panic at the Pentagon as Russian warships and nuclear power submarines still refuse to leave the coast of Florida, and we already know they said they said I believe it was 2 days ago or a day ago they said that a Russian warship and submarine was heading to Cuba. I believe it reached Cuba, right? And this is our next article here stating that it have won on the outskirts of America, right? And you could see the antagonizing that's been going on. This is basically the same thing that America is doing Russia, where they tell Ukraine to use their weapons and so forth. Because we heading into what? We heading into World War III. You understand? So what I was saying before to the unbeliever is that they believe these things not going to happen. They believe these things the world is going to continue as is. Everything is just, the stuff not going to pop off. Shit. They will continue to live in the continue to dwell and live in the sin. Continue to do the wickedness and so on. You understand? Because just like many other stuff, like I was reading an article yesterday, and some of the comments was, I believe it's right here self, right? I believe it's here self. I will go on to it. See, and you see the unbelievers, they do believe things going to happen. They do believe. You understand? Some of the statements was like, we hear this before. We hear this before. So when to make my song, which matter of fact, I'll see if I find some of the comments here. But going into the article, it said major fault line off West Coast could trigger catastrophic 9 magnitude earthquake, study finds, and it's due to go off at any minute, right? So is just basically a warning, and we know according to the scriptures, the Lord tell us about earthquakes. The Lord tell us about these things that are going to happen at the end. You understand? There's a reason why, like for example, in the Caribbean here, in the island of Trinidad, we had for the past 2 weeks we had about 6 earthquakes. 6 to 4, 6, somewhere around 4 to 6 earthquakes, right? Somewhere along those lines, and somewhere around those numbers, right? And that was like a new. I don't think at any time in history we had like 4 to 6 earthquakes in the span of a week and a half, right? And watch how much other things happening. We're talking about the wars that we seen right in the midst of us and so on, the rumors of wars and so forth. But we know eventually these things are going to happen, no matter what. You understand? These prophecies are going to play out. Your unbelief not going and stop these things. And a matter of fact, in that time when you're going to be caught in it, that is when now they want to turn upon the Lord. That is when now they want to find help. They go want help. They go want to know what else is coming. What it is to do to find salvation. That is when they're going to know, but it could be too late. You understand? So as the title say, major fault line off West Coast could trigger catastrophic 9 magnitude earthquake. Study finds, and it's due to go off any minute, right? It says using underwater mapping techniques, scientists have mapped the Cascadia subduction zone, a 600-mile fault line extending from southern Canada to northern California in never before seen detail, right? So you see how they're finding the faults and so forth, right? Now let me just bring a script here. It's the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1. It said, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And when you look up the word perilous, right? perilous, right? It's a perilous. It's a full of danger or risk. It's a exposed to imminent risk or disaster or ruin. So exposed, a full of danger or risk. So we in that time. We in a time of danger, and we in a time of risk that anything could happen. It's a reason why we're seeing all these things right now. Things about the earthquakes, things about diseases, pestilences, things about wars, the uproars of the people, and all these things we're seeing right now, right? All these things we're seeing right now. We in those perilous times. But the scripture said, the scripture said, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And we in those days. Right? Whether you like it or not, we in those days. Whether you believe or not, we in those days. You understand? The thing about it with people is that especially Jake, is that they wait for things to happen, and then that is now when they want to find help. But what they will talk about on the internet is about rappers, is about love and hip hop, is about some shit that not even going to save them in that time. Some shit that not even going to help them. And they're going to be caught with their pants down. Right? So you see this now also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Right? And we're seeing that. Right? Those perilous times, the time of imminent danger, right? Time of risk, the time of destruction at hand. I'm going to go to something here quick. Perilous. So when you look up perilous in the concordance, it say hard to do, to take, to approach. It say hard to bear, and we know we're coming into that time because those perilous times are going to be very hard to bear. Talking about famines, talking about pestilences, talking about earthquakes, talking about other natural phenomena. Talking about the apparitions, talking about the wars. You're talking about all these things. The insurrections, all these things that going to take place, and hey, as I say, hard to bear, troublesome. It could be a troublesome time, dangerous, harsh, fierce, savage. It's a perhaps from G5465 through the idea of reducing the strength. It's a difficult, that is dangerous, right? Dangerous, and those are the times that we're in. That's why it say at any moment this could happen. It's a reason why when you go and look up what's going on with earthquakes right now, you're seeing it hitting all over the world. And it are different anomalies. Like I've been doing some videos, strange anomalies happening all around the world. Things that I've never seen before, that they are hiding on the scales and so forth, right? And eventually something is going to happen. Something is going to happen, right? Jump to the next scripture here. It's this is Matthew chapter 24, and I'm gonna read maybe from verse 3. Say, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? Because he was asking, what sign are you coming and the end of the world? Right? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and shall deceive many, and we've been seeing that, right? And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. You see, now, to somebody that unbelieve, when they watch some of the videos, that's why you see some of the comments with us get us like, or repeating the same thing over and over and all so forth. There's a reason why. The same scripture, you could find it in different books, the same thing here, being repetitive, right? Just to give you all warning, you understand? So when this warning come, you all don't have no excuse to say, wait, no. The statement you all go make is like, what? Yeah, but that man really said that this could have take place, and that is what the scriptures you see. All the scriptures have to take place. All the scriptures have to happen, and that is why it had a scripture in Ezekiel is 33, I believe is the last or second to last verse, talk about that is when no that they shall know a prophet was amongst them. You know, that is when they would say, yeah, this man really was a prophet because he warned us about this. You know? So it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, and we've seen that. You know, and the next video going to the ship, right? They say, see that ye be in trouble, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet, and the end is not yet. So all these things must come to pass, and the end is not yet. That would say we in the end of days or the last days, you know, but the end is not yet, because the end going to be great. You know, but all these things have to happen before the end, right? It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Now remember this pestilence, because I'll do a video on this thing that this particular disease that they say spread recently and it killed someone, right? That they talk about, they want to bring more restrictions and so forth. But nonetheless, it say and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And we're talking about earthquakes right now. Again, let's go and look up how much earthquakes have been taking place for this past month. You know, how much earthquakes hit at a particular point. You know, I believe it's Chile, I believe it's somewhere from California and some other places, right? I know they're telling you about a big one, right? Now they're telling you about a big one to come, right? And they say pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Say all these are the beginning of sorrows, and say all these, this is just the beginning. So you can imagine how catastrophic or how bad, how chaotic it will not be in the middle and the end. You understand? If all these that mentioned here is just the beginning, right? So I'm going to just read some of the comments I was saying. So this person, right? And this is to show you the disbelief in some of them. So this person, we have been having so many swarms of small ones all over Southern California. It is not normal. I've lived here for decades, and this has never happened with such frequency and distance, and that's true, because I've been, as I said before, it has so much earthquakes happening, it unbelievable, right? Let's say, considering the global activity, we have seen re-earthquakes and flooding that this makes sense, and that's true, because you see in particular, like places that have never flooded before, flood out, that literally cause mass death and so on. Even us here, like a little bit of rain it could cause like great floods, you know. And they talk, as you say, the earthquakes. So you're seeing the activity that's been going on, and this is all these things are signs that we at the end, right? So this person, Mark, study finds have been saying the same thing since the 70s. Please spare us, and this is what I was telling him. But you see, these things, there would be people that would not take the warning, but you know what? They would want to believe in that day when these things take place. You know, that there is no when shit happen, that is when they should have known not to scoff, not to scorn. But because at the end of the day, as I said before, all these scriptures that take place, and scoffers and scorners and mockers have to be here. They must be here. They must scoff, they must scorn, they must mock, and they must be and must have unbelievers who would not believe. You understand? But pay no mind to them, because their judgment is at hand. Right? So so this was the comment I was saying. Do I have time to make a sandwich? You understand? People, it's all a joke for people until it do happen, and eventually it's going, right? It's going to happen, right? So hey, with that, once again, we give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yoshai, Ba'ashem Makakodash. We see the ones apostles and elders agree Muslim, well teachers our apostles in the truth, and we see salutations solely accurate, the pushing the wood no truth and sincerity day in and day out, and constantly in season and season. We say Shalom.